Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Vinnyeastwood Show. Episode in the spasmodic reaction to a vaccination sense of the word. That's what we do here. We just get freaky with it. Speaking of getting freaky with it, our very special guest, Paul, is having one of those nerd problems. Okay, I came up with a joke the other day, and if you want to hear any more of my incredibly lame, bad jokes, you can go to thevinnyeastwoodshow.com, and up there you'll see all these little things, you know, like radio archives, chat room, and all that kind of stuff all listed there. And there's a bit called humour, and if you just hover your mouse over there, a little bar will drop down to jokes, and there's some terrible jokes in there. I'm not sure if this one's in it, but why are nerds afraid to get married? Because they're afraid of bad Wi-Fi. Yeah, sorry about that. Anybody out there who's a nerd or a wife, for that matter, because it must suck. I wanted to kind of get into what I did last night, actually, seeing as our guest has dropped off. Yep, he's down. Okay, moving right along. The caller number is 218-339-8525, 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. Now, what I was doing last night is getting paid $17 an hour to film some globalist think tank debate. It's called the New Zealand Institute, and it's a merger of the Business Roundtable Group. Yes, I know all these names are sounding really nice and friendly and all of that, but in my experience, anything official, basically, that is more or less a think tank, is basically just a brainwashing panel. Okay, and dig this. This was the debate. Whether or not we should ban all Chinese foreign ownership or not. That is the myopic debate. Okay, banning all Chinese ownership and all trade with China. That's your option over retaining sovereignty. And the way they argued it was very interesting, though. The argument was basically like this. Look, we maintain a good level of trade already with China. So with our free trade deals and everything like that, it's going to be good for our economy. So why sell them our land? So basically, the argument against selling your strategic assets and your only finite resource really, which is land, as far as I know, no countries are actually making the stuff, apart from maybe Dubai, and it costs ridiculous amounts, and it ain't worth it. This is what's going on here. They're just coming in, buying a strategic reserve. But,
you guys call in.
Oh, you're back, mate?
Yes.
Okay, we've got you. Well,
right,
welcome
awesome,
to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. For your viewers, this is Paul Wesley, a.k.a. princetruthchaser. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a man of love and light. I do it all. So it's it's good to be here, bro.
Is your brother, by chance, a true bourbon chaser?
I don't know, but bourbon's not that bad, but I don't know if that's my brother.
Okay. Well, there's got to be some kind of camaraderie there anyway. But tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. All right, well, first off, I'm just a normal guy from, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and, I just bring truth and awareness to people. And, it all first started out when, the people say, well, when did you wake up? When did you realize that about the New World Order, about the crooked, cabal and system that's, the elite? And I always kind of felt like I was always awake because I was always different when I was a kid, And, I just looked up in the sky. I seen the chemtrails being sprayed in the sky. And I looked around in Philadelphia, and there was no one in a city of millions and millions of people doing anything about it. No one even knows anything about this stuff that's going on. Not the Rothschilds, not the elite, not chemtrails, nothing. And I just, I looked around and I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I could work a 9 to 5 normal job and be a slave to the system, or I could actually get out and, try to wake people up to this stuff that's going on. And I've just been putting one foot in front of the other, dude, and videoing and confronting people, like Channel 10 News, the media. I confronted them, and I confronted CBS 3, but that actually got ripped off my YouTube channel. But yeah, it's just, it all just started. I'm just a truther, man, and it all just started. When you see something that's screwed up in the world, you just, you have a choice. You could either stay asleep and be a part of the slave system that we live in, or you can say, you know what, look, I'd rather fight and, fight the system, and if I go down fighting, it's better than, knowing what's going on and not doing anything.
Yeah, and it alleviates your madness to do something about the stuff that's making you mad.
Right.
Because basically, I look at it like this. Unless we all help each other in every way we can, we're all screwed in every way we can be. So, if you're the person in the city and you notice that there's nothing of this nature, I mean, you that is exactly what happened to me, Paul. I just noticed that because you're in a city of a few million people, I'm in a country of a few million people, exact same scenario. Nobody out there with the cameras going up and talking about the New World Order and asking those kind of questions and taking the real truth into the teeth of the enemy kind of thing. Nobody.
I agree, Vin. I agree.
But now, since you've started, I'm acting under the assumption since you started, there's now more.
Oh yeah, most definitely. A lot of people, have to realize, especially I really want to get this across to your viewers, is that when, if we're being slow poisoned and slow killed, if this isn't just about America, this isn't about Britain, this isn't about New Zealand, this is worldwide. It's a one world government. It's not about race or skin color, none of that shit. It's, and the thing I want the viewers to know that is when you speak out, when you find out about what's going on, it's scary. It's really, it makes people angry that I've brought attention to this too. But you're going to be called crazy. You're going to be, you're going to lose friends, family. You just get ready for it, because a lot of people are going to say you're a kook, you're a lunatic.
Yeah.
And
that's why when I'm when I'm bullhorning, I say, if you ever hear anybody talking about chemtrails or the global elite or anything, please immediately rush up to them and call them a conspiracy theorist. I can guarantee you they would have never heard it before.
Yeah, it's rough, but in my experience, if you look, Vin, if you look at like guys like big names, like they basically, they cater to a certain group, I'd say. But I'm out in like the projects and in the ghettos of neighborhoods where like the low income folk, they don't have computers or they don't have the the resources to know even where to look. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out there giving out flyers, I would say about 4 times, maybe even 5 times out of the day about this nasty stuff that's going on. Because they're the people we need to wake up. We need to wake up the people that, the majority of the people that aren't, are kind of, I would say, you know what I'm saying, are hard to reach.
Yeah. Well, I think when you're walking around an orchard and you're trying to pick fruit, what do you try to get? Do you try to get the low-hanging fruit that's real easy to get to, that's nice and ripe, that you can fill up your bag and finish work for the day? Or do you spend all that time frustratingly attempting to climb such an enormous and impossible tree to grab a piece of fruit that turns out to be wrong?
All right.
That's
so Vin,
there's the conversations we have on the conversations you have on the street are very interesting, aren't they? They can go any which way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I agree. It's I've got this new series out on my YouTube. It's called Chemtrails Street Interviews, and that's just randomly going up to people and saying, "Hey, look at this guy, dude. What do you see?" And I try to think outside the box with the way I do my videos. I mean, I try to look at what's already been done to wake up the masses and say, okay, A, B, C, D has been done. Let me try E, F, G. You know what I mean? Let me think outside of the norm and do shit that no one's ever done, and maybe that'll help wake up more people. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. When you talk about the whole idea of waking people up, is there a goal in mind, like a specific number or a specific amount of topics that you want to wake people up to? And I'm not sure, because I'm of the opinion that you can't wake people up. It's not possible. For example, nobody woke you up, did they? Because you went out, you did a whole bunch of research, and it was the fire that was within you that made you seek out the knowledge and trawl through all the websites and read the articles, watch the documentaries, keep up with the YouTube channel, that kind of stuff, right?
I would agree. I would agree about 90% to that, yes. But I mean, it's kind of like, if you have someone that if you have a village around the way that's burning, and you know about it because you see it, but the next village don't know about it, and you say you hit somebody on the head and say, hey, look, man, check this out. We need some help over here. That kind of helps things out. I mean, you're right, absolutely right, man. I looked up in the sky, I seen the stuff, I researched things, and then one thing led to another. I mean, I got into like ancient history of humanity, and that's a whole different ball game. But to really get deep down into where the elite is, but I've noticed by actually interacting with people, man, that makes a really big difference, because then it gets them on their journey of research, to faster wake up, I guess, wake up faster.
Do you notice there's a difference in perhaps regions or something? Like, is there something very specific about your town? Does it have these characteristics of how people react to you? Or is it just a globalized society and basically we're all brainwashed in our various countries, in our various school systems to act the same way that the global elite want us?
I think you hit it right on the nail. I mean, it's exactly what it is. It's from cradle to grave, really. It's in America, especially in Philadelphia, you have different neighborhoods where it's like black people live here, Puerto Rican people, Hispanic people live here. The white people live here, and it just seems like they separate each nationality, and they have us like fight with each other, and that plus the mainstream media constantly lies. The stuff that's on TV is to mind program people from cradle to grave. The whole idea of, okay, well, you're gonna. If you look at reality TV, that's a really good example, because it's all judgmental, and then that's part of what TV does. It's like, oh, you can't sing, you can't dance, you can't act, you're a loser.
Have you noticed?
I mean,
how much reality TV has actually just kind of taken over just mainstream TV, like American Idol and all of this kind of junk, right? And it turns out that what the cheapest form of television to produce of all time is?
Reality TV.
Yeah.
It's horrible, dude. It's just it's disgusting. Have you ever watched Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that Oscar the Grouch was the bum of the show, and he was automatically judged by all the little kids? I mean, it goes back that far, Vin. It's like, don't talk to Oscar. He's a grouch. Like, are you kidding me? Like, early age judging. And I think that the elite, they plan properly. They I believe they have time travel tech.
Well, see, actually, the time travel tech and the Sesame Street links up for me, because I had an idea for a picture, like where you see those pictures in the band Tool and stuff like that, and they're all real trippy from like DMT trips or something like that, and you call them Ayahuasca the Grouch.
Oh yeah.
All right, sorry.
Okay. No, I'm fine, dude. I'm ready, man. Just I'm just.
Well, you seem more onto it than I am today. I was out late last night.
Yeah, late. What'd you do last night, bro?
Oh man, filming scumbaggery debates between basic New World Order protoplasm trash, basically, for $17 an hour. It was awful. It was awful. But there was free beer and free pizza and a debate between this left group and this right group, and all these investors and all these business roundtable people all around there, right? And you know what it reminded me of, man? Somebody told me once that when Adolf Hitler was giving his speeches in little pubs and bars in Germany and things of that nature for the Nazi Party, he was a great speaker and all of that kind of stuff. But somebody was paying for all this free alcohol, all this free food, so that when everybody had been there and mingling and talking for about a half an hour or something like that, then he'd come up and speak and say, the workers need jobs, yeah, the people need homes, yeah, and we need an infrastructure, yeah, and we need to make sure that we kick out the bankers, yeah, and they all voted for him and he led them all to a slaughter. It's a great little recruitment arm thingy, you know, just get people drunk and under the influence and just make sure that they get recruited into the old spiralling arm of the New World Order secret societies. You're listening to the Vinnyeastwood Show. My very special guest is the Prince Truth Chaser, and we'll be right back after the break at thevinnyeastwoodshow.com. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen,
seems to me if you're going
to the Vinnyeastwood Show.
19 hours to another country,
I would like to welcome back my very special guest, Prince Truth Chaser. And what was it we were talking about over the break, about how I got into all of this? And the long and the short of it is I got arrested and did community service, and then became a really good salesman and got screwed over by 3 different sales company end over end. And then I started listening to American talk radio in the conspiracy field, stuff like that, watching documentaries, found out that there was nothing like that at all here, and started doing it, and here I am. And
all right.
Yeah. And what about you, man?
Well, again, you guys can find me on YouTube, just YouTube, Prince Truth Chaser, Facebook, Paul Wesley, or Prince space in between Truth Chaser. Just like to throw that out there. Subscribe to the channel Truth, of course, but a little bit about myself, trying to keep everybody, updated on who I am. I grew up in Philadelphia in a poor neighborhood. We really didn't have much as a kid. I graduated high school, did a little bit of college. I would say about a year of college. It wasn't for me. And then, I said, what the hell? I got a CDL, truck driver license, a carpenter's apprenticeship, but something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying, Vin? Something, the normal, everyday career life for me, it just wasn't right. And everyone's like, Paul, you should work a 9-to-5 job. And I just, this is what I do. Bringing truth and awareness of the nasty shit that goes on to people. That's what I do.
We also just violated FCC regulations. You can't say that word, mate. And I apologise to the affiliates. But don't worry. It kind of happens regularly on this show for some reason. People feel they can swear around me.
Sorry about that.
I'm such a comforting guy. All right, go ahead, sorry.
But, I just bring awareness to people is what I'm all about. And, it feels good when people come up to you and they give you a hug and they say, hey, you're really doing something positive. And that's what it's all about, And like I said, I grew up in Philly, and, I had a wooden, I guess, never had a golden spoon. I guess you can more like, so let's call it a wooden spoon. But, it's, life is what we make it, as long as we keep putting one foot in front of the other, and especially with the truther movement. And, like I said earlier, you're going to get laughed at, you're going to get ridiculed sometimes, but if you believe in what you believe in and it's all truth, just keep going, because people that will knock people like me or people like Vinny, they're just, half of the time they're either bitter because they're not happy with their lives, or they're just not awake to what's going on. But, and that's what it's all about. I mean, I pretty much think that, the New World Order plan is real. There's nothing fake about it. Is this just New World Order topics here? Can I get into other things, or what?
You can get into anything you want, man. That's the whole point of the show, is to give people a platform to talk about whatever they want.
All right, fine. Well, one of my passions is the whole, the interdimensional time-traveling alien abduction scene. And I really want to press a little bit of that, is because the New World Order and the alien, underground bases, it's all the same agenda. And, shape-shifting reptilians, I'm sure a lot of people have heard David Icke speak about it. Carla Turner, she was an expert on it. She was, she died. Phil Schneider died. There's a whole lot of people that once they open up the box to connect the Illuminati New World Order come out in with the whole, extraterrestrial. It's all one. So it's the whole planetary takeover, one world government. It's all the same. It's all connected.
So it's like a galactic game of Milton Bradley's Connect Four.
Pretty much, and it's pretty much where what had happened was the Zeta Greys came down, and Germany said we don't want you here. They were in contact with the Giza intelligence in the Middle East, and that's one of the reasons. Well, I'll get into that later, but America and other countries said, hey, look, man, you can take a couple head of cattle from abducting people and. We just want technology. We want to do reverse engineering and get into dark matter technology, and they've been doing it. But there's a real big problem now. It's because the Zeta Greys are actually a slave race to what's called the Dracos, the Draconian Empire, who basically, they've been here, since the beginning of time, from what I can understand. I mean,
see, I thought Draco was a music company that Dr. Dre set up.
the Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Like Dr. Draco.
Yeah, Dr. Draco.
Yeah.
But I mean, so basically, what I believe is going on now is this: Christianity, religion is BS in my opinion. It's a easy way to enslave the masses and put fear throughout worldwide. And I believe. In my heart and through my research, what I've done is that, what's happening now is that the Illuminati, they worship these beings. They worship these, fourth dimensional reptilian beings, these Zeta Greys, and they're in contact with them and selling humanity out. There's a hybrid program that's been going on for a long time now, and these hybrids are here. And now everyone talks about, the Illuminati and the New World Order, how they want to kill off 90% of the population. Now, if that is fact, which a lot of us believe that this is to be true, who's going to take over when 90% of the population is dead? It's going to be the hybrids. And, that's a part of the whole technical trade with the Grey Zetas, and, the reptilians are sitting back and they're just like, hey, yeah, go ahead, do it. And, there's what just happened, Vin? They had this rover or something that went on Mars or something like that.
Oh, I loved it, man, because they sent out the pictures from the feed, right, and it showed the red sand and the blue sky, and suddenly everyone what? and suddenly this big viral rage starts spreading out over the internet, and they're like, so whoops, sorry, we need to the picture's a little bit fuzzy or something, they just make some crap up, and they come back and they go, the picture's much better now, it's black and white. So you can't tell it's a blue sky or the red sand, and they juxtapose that right next to the big, beautiful digital kind of 3D mock-up stuff that they've got, doing these beautiful camera pans around the rover, simulating and all of that, seeing all the red sand. But apparently we don't have the technology to send back a colour photograph.
Oh my God, really, right. And, I think it's Canada that has actual photographs of a Sphinx on Mars. They have photographs of pyramids on Mars. There's ice on Mars. So, I mean...
ruined cities.
It's crazy, man.
Rivers,
so much...
trees.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe this to be true? I mean, what do you think? Do you think that...
I've seen pictures, and I'll tell you what, man. This is my same general rule for everything and whether or not I believe it's true. Does it currently physically affect me right now? No.
It does not.
So does it actually technically matter in terms of my survival whether or not it's true? No.
It does not. Right.
But is it interesting? Yes. Is it a possibility? Yes. Okay. Well, let's just leave it there. Whether or not it's true is irrelevant because it poses no threat to me. And whether or not it's interesting is very relevant because interesting stuff leads you in different directions. And it enables you to think in ways you never thought before. Even if the information's not true, it can still trigger very real reactions in yourself and positive changes in your life, provided you know what you're doing. And in relation to Mars and aliens and all of this kind of stuff, like it's quite possible for a lot of people to be freaked out about this. Like, there's a whole universe full of aliens out there. There's ancient civilizations on Mars. There's alien implant chips in George W.H. Bush's frickin' brain pan, and his testicles are actually an egg womb sac for some alien chest burster kangaroo hybrid that they cooked up in Area 51. It doesn't matter whether or not any of this stuff is real or crazy or whatever, because believe me, if we put all this stuff on Ripley's Believe It or Not next to other stuff that we just made up off the top of our heads, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, would you?
Yeah, really.
So in essence, what is real? How do you define real? What are the parameters of your reality? What are the parameters of your thought? Are there any parameters? Do you have any actual rules? Because I'm starting to think that I can come up with general descriptions and stuff of how I do things, but there's no such thing as a rule, because the rules change as the circumstance do. Otherwise, I don't think I'd survive.
So, hey, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? What do you see? 2 years down the road. Let's just say 3 years down the road, because everyone's going on about December 22nd to 2012. What do you think's going to happen?
I thought everybody was talking about December 21st, 2012.
All right. Well, I'm hearing. What is it? The 21st into the 22nd, something like that.
21, 1-2, 1-2. 21st of December 2012. Well, I don't know. I got three takes on it, right? A1, it's a Mayan prophecy thing, and it's kind of a little bit one way or the other. It's wishy-washy. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, because they have this dragon spilling out water all over everybody, and that could be construed as a serpent of wiseness or enlightenment or goodness knows what. Basically, the upshot of it is, some people reckon that it means we're all going to die in some horrible flood and catastrophe. Some people think it means the Earth is simply going to be reborn, and we won't have to deal with any of these New World Order scumbaggery or false duality or wars for no reason and toxic crap everywhere. And we're going to actually, just have a big shift and evolve somewhat rapidly. And that's two sides of it. The other side of it is it's all a hoax, all a hype, all being put up there by the New World Order to distract everybody and to make them think that there's no point doing anything anyway, because it's all going to end regardless. Kind of like the doomsday predictions in the Bible kind of make people do that. I've met a lot of Christians who are just basically sitting there doing absolutely nothing, waiting for the end times, instead of actually doing something about getting prepared or trying to make a positive difference in this world in any way.
Good point. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Have you heard of the White Hoods? I mean, the
White Hats.
The White Hats, White Hoods, but they're against the Cabal, the Dark Hoods, Dark Hats. Have you heard of this group?
Yeah. Drake and David Wilcock and all of that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Arrest simultaneously all the scumbaggery. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that these people are actually being rounded up right now, and that
Hey, like I say, man, anything's possible. Aliens, flying spaghetti monsters coming from a planet, and slurping my brain out of my ears with a silly straw is technically possible. I don't think it's likely, but this whole thing about somebody else is going to come in, swoop in, and save the day, like underdog styles. Right. Come on.
It's rubbish, dude. It's this bull crap. It's not going to happen.
See, even if it is true, and even if it is happening, Do you think I'm going to change my tune? Do you think I'm going to slow down? Hell no.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to push harder. Because I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing, because I'm being successful at it, until the fat lady sings. And as far as I know, the White Hat Society has not revealed any fat ladies in their employment.
No one's singing yet. I haven't heard any songs yet, so...
Yeah. Apparently, Timmy Geithner got arrested or detained, and squealed like a little jailbird. Oh, it's Poppy Bush. He's making us do it all. He's the crime lord here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, because look at it this way: are we fighting that fight between these big apparatus of the White Hat Society, intelligence operatives, and blah blah blah, all the way up here, or are you and me fighting on the street with the normal people? I think it's like this war has many fronts, and every soldier has a post, and that post is critically important strategically to the overall war effort. If you're a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, you can make a freaking difference in this world. If only you were to take that butcher's knife, or take that candle, or take that very, very hot oven implement and shove it into a Rothschild's face. It would hurt them. Yes. We'll be right back.